Test, test, test. Test, test, test. 5-minute warning, 5-minute warning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. All right, we are gonna get into it tonight. Some nice Windows exploitation. So we are working on Blue from TryHackMe. This box should be pretty easy. It's a older box. From the room name, it's Blue. So and we know it's Windows, so it's probably gonna be Blue Keep. But we'll do our normal scanning and enumeration and see what's going on. I went ahead and started up the box just to go ahead and get everything fired up and ready to go. So let's start off with our process. We'll go ahead and take the IP address here. I'm gonna take that over there. And we'll put that in our targets file. .text. Paste that in there. Apparently I missed the first one. Alright. We'll start off with a quick nmap scan just to see what ports are open, and then we can dive deeper into that. I'm going to do a T5. Dash IL is input list, and then we got targets.text. If you guys are on stream, let me know if the music's fine or if it's too loud. I can turn it down. And then we're gonna see what that comes back with. Dash PN. So PN's no ping, so it's not gonna ping the box, just gonna straight scan it. Okay, so we see that we have MSR PC, NetBIOS SSN, Microsoft DS, MS WBT server, or RDP, commonly is what it's known as, and some standard Windows ephemeral ports. Those are the standard ones that kind of give away. It's a Windows box, the 49, 152, 153, 154, 158, 160. So we'll do a more in-depth scan, see if we can get any version information, anything to kind of give us a more idea of what we want to do on this box. So we'll do a -- script. We're going to do phone, and we'll do version. We're going to go ahead and save this output. -OA is all output formats, and we'll name that blue. Yeah, I feel like in the jungle. You know, it's hard to find royalty-free music. So it's going to take a little bit longer than it did with before, because now it's going to be running the scripts. While this is scanning, we can push V, and that'll increase the verbosity and kind of show us what's going on. So now we're running the NSC scripts, or the Nmap scripting engine. So in the background, Nmap has its own little engine that it runs the scripts on based on the ports. I forget what the scripting engine is exactly, but it's not too hard to develop scripts for, if I remember correct. Almost done. It's got one. How you go from 97 to 84 Nmap? All right, there we go. So good details. Let's see here. So Nmap again identified these open ports, and it tried to run some scripts based on the open ports. We see that it tried to run clam AV exec, and it failed, of course. That's probably because clam AV is not running on there. It did look at the RDP port for some SSL issues, and then it looks like it also went ahead and ran some of the SMB vulnerability scripts. So like we can see here, nice big bold letters that this is vulnerable to MS1710. No surprise on this one, with it being blue. And so that's what the exploit we're going to kind of look for, is MS1710. Metasploit. So if you didn't know, you can run msfdb run. That'll initialize the database and go ahead and start Metasploit. That's a good little trick. Database helps you when you're searching for stuff to go quicker and easier and faster. While that's running, we'll look at the... We need to scan the machine. We already completed that. How many ports were open under 1,000? Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 ports. What is this machine vulnerable to? So that kind of came out in the nmap script here. We'll see that right there, MS17-010. Oops. Need to push Control Shift key C or right click on it. There we go. All right, we're all green in that section. Recon's done. Next part is gaining access. So start Metasploit. We did that. Find exploit code that will run against the machine. What is the full path of the code? Alright. So we can search MS17-10. Search came back with nothing. How about MS17? Alright, we came back with some stuff there. Let me make this longer here. A little bit easier to read. So we got a couple exploits here for 1710. We'll do the scanner first just to see. So because we use search beforehand, if you didn't know that there's numbers on the side here, and you can just use that number to jump into that Metasploit module. So we're going to do the auxiliary scanner first. So we're going to use 6. And show options. Oops. So we need to look to see at whatever is required. So name pipes, they have a word list. Our host is required, and our port and threads. So let's set our host. Go ahead and set that globally. So set G, our host. And that should be our IP up here. Go ahead and run that one. Alright. So Metasploit also tells us that it is more likely vulnerable to MS1710. It also gave us a little bit more information. Windows 7 Professional, 7601 Service Pack 1 x64. So we know we're dealing with an x64 system, so when we exploit this, we probably want to do a 64-bit payload to kind of match the architecture. So now we know for sure, based on the initial feedback, we can jump to the next exploit module. And that looks like it's going to be number 8, this exploit Windows SMB MS1710 external blue corruption. So we'll use 8. And that's going to jump us into that module. We got the R host in there. We might as well go ahead and set the payload. Windows. Interpreter. Reverse TCP. Set L host. And again, you can set your L host to be your Ethernet port. So in this case, it'd be ton 0 because we're VPN in. If I would type it right. It says show set. There we go. Alright, that looks good. Alright, Archangel, what's the time count? Has it been less than 3 minutes? Two minutes. That was with Nmap and it taking its time too. Oh, is it not gonna work the first time? Yep. So the funny thing about Eternal Blue is that it doesn't work every time the first time. See, yeah, it failed. It's a interesting memory corruption one, so it has to do it sometimes multiple times to align the stack just right to get things going. And that's what you can kind of see some in this output here. It's using a combination of SMB version 1 and SMB version 2. It's doing an attack on one version and then, yeah, so like sending SMB version 2 buffers and then closing up SMB version 1 so that it frees up memory space and then hopefully it gets executed in that code. While that's going there, we're gonna see. Oh man, it is failing tonight. I think it does it. Tries it 3 times, and then we might have to redo it again. But let's see. Find the exploitation code we'll run to use against this. What's the full path of the code? So we got this right from here. Just copy that while it's working. That's gonna be exploit. Show options and set the required option. What is the name of this? All caps from, that's probably the R host. Run the exploit, confirm the exploit is correct. You may have to press enter for a DOS shell to appear in the shell. Okay. Alright, so that did not work. We're gonna try it again. You might run out on the timer on this one just because of the exploit not wanting to line up the stack correctly. I don't know if that'll count against your time though. Man, it is not liking it tonight. Well, yeah, we know that's already there. It's trying it again. While it's doing that, let's, I know there is a actual exploit for it, MS17. 10, can we do that? About MS17. Alright. So it looks like it's right there. So search exploit is gives you like a text ability to kind of search exploit DB. And so what you're doing is when you're typing in search exploit and then the term, it's looking at all that and then printing out all the results basically here and then where they're located at. So this is in user share exploit DB / exploits Windows remote. And so we could copy this over if this doesn't work and attempt to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep that. Share exploit DB. So we're going hard mode tonight. Windows remote. Come on. Okay, so there's that. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we need to do for this. Because what we'll do is we maybe get a shell and then we'll get Metasploit on there. Oh yeah, -m. Yeah. I forgot about -m there. Oh, I already got it. Oh. So anytime you try to execute a script and you get a bad interpreter and it has that tick M on there, what usually happens is that it's in a DOS format, and so the best thing to do is called DOS to Unix, and then you do it on that script. And so that's going to convert it back to Unix format so that it takes away all those uptick M's. It's something to do with how Windows saves files. And again, even though this was only on Kali and it's not like I copied it from Windows, for whatever reason it's there. So if you ever run into that. Alright, so it looks like we need Impacket. So I do a pip install Impacket. Apparently I have pip installed. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those nights. So that is app install python-pip. All right. So normally I wouldn't like doing all this stuff because again you're installing all these libraries into your host OS. I would usually put this into a Docker container just to be safe. But we're going crazy tonight. Alright, cool. Looks like it. So we need the IP address, the shellcode file, number, groom connections. So we see that Metasploit, that one is trying to use 22 groom allocations. There's 12. So we'll try 12 and then 22. Let's see how that works out. Shellcode file. So we'll need to generate some shellcode file. All right, Blind Hacker, thanks for bringing over everybody. So let's generate some shellcode. All right, so we're gonna use, let's see. Let's go to Metasploit. We're gonna use exploit multi-handler. We're gonna go ahead and set up the multi-handler. We'll set the payload. Windows. Interpreter. X60. Sorry, Blind Hacker. Streamlabs is pretty aggressive. Reverse TCP. Come on. Oh, it's x64, then interpreter. There we go. Alright, set L host. And again, you can use ton 0. Another cool trick is on Metasploit when you're setting up your multi-handler, set exit on session to be false. And what this does is prevents that when a shell comes back, it closing your session so that you can have multiple shells call back to the same payload. So we're going to exploit -J on that one. Alright, so now we got our session handler roll in. We need to generate the shellcode, it seemed like. Now, the only thing is it doesn't say the shellcode file, which is interesting. What do we use on that? Because we have raw, we could use raw. Yeah, can I turn up my mic more? Sure. Alright, how about that? Is that better? Awesome. Alright, so we're gonna try raw on the... Okay, it's better. Alright, cool. We'll try raw first and see if that's gonna get it for us. So MSF Venom, we want to do payload Windows interpreter. Up. See, I always mess up. x64. x64 interpreter. Reverse TCP. Our L host. So since we're doing it in the command line L host here, the ton 0 doesn't work out right. So we're gonna do ifconfig grep ton 0. Thanks everyone for the follow. I got Warlock Me. Alright, so we got that. We'll set that, and our L port was 4444. So L port 4444. We're gonna do -F for raw, and we'll pipe that into a file called blue shell. Let's see if this works. So MSF Venom's taking that. It's gonna input the L host and L port. Should have done equal. Let's see if that takes it still. It did. Nope, did not. All right, there we go. While that's running, we can. Yep. We'll try to run this again. Let's make sure it's not doing the same L port. There we go. So if you guys are just jumping in the stream, we're doing this box here, blue. We scanned the box. It came back that it's identified MS1710. Now what we're trying to do is get an interpreter session on there. The initial attempt did not work for Metasploit, and just the stack wasn't lining up, is what it seemed like. So now what we're trying to do is use a shell script from search exploit and inject the shellcode that way. So what I just did is I went ahead and kicked off Metasploit one more time. Well, we're going to try the other version. So we'll do this. We'll do 4.2. And then it said IP and then shellcode file. Okay, blue shell. That's the name what we named our file there. And then number of groom connections. So Metasploit was using 12. We'll try 12 and see how this goes. Invalid parameter. Good response status. Invalid parameter. Done. So maybe we try the 22. So it's reading the shellcode, it looks like. But it's just saying invalid parameter, which is not really giving me much input into. We could cat the file and then see what does it mean by invalid parameter. Because of invalid FEA flag. Interesting. We might have to just reboot the box. The stack might not line up. So if you've never done Blue Keep, it's pretty consistent, except when it's not consistent. So we'll see if this fails one more time. And then if it does, we'll reboot the box and try it again with a different IP. Yeah, some of the scanning will misalign the stack, so then the exploit doesn't line up right and doesn't work. Again, Eternal Blue is a cool one, but it is finicky. On a engagement one time, I had the client, I knew, same thing. It was giving me all the data that looks like it was exploitable, things like that, and I asked them, hey, could you just reboot the box one time? And as soon as they rebooted it, it worked. So I have some confidence that this should work. Alright, so we'll give this about like a minute. And we'll try to exploit it again. Thanks everybody for tweeting it out, catching the stream tonight. If you got any questions while we're doing this stuff, please feel free to ask in the chat. Alright, let's see if this works. Doesn't look like it's up yet. Ah, come on, box. Of course, this is like the demo gods. This is Sparta. Yeah, the box is definitely Sparta to me. Alright, there it goes. It's up. There you go. See, look at that. Restart the box, it comes up. Win. All right. So we're in. We got an interpreter session. So that gets us on the board. So we've gained access now. All right. So if you haven't background a previously gained shell, what is the name of the post module we want to use to convert a shell to interpreter in Metasploit? That's so we background. You can type background in there, and then again you can search. So to cater your search terms for Metasploit, you can do what's called type and a colon, and we're going to look for post modules. We know this is a post module, and then it said interpreter. So that's the search term that I put in afterwards. So these are the modules that match. And we got, let's see here. It's going to be shell to interpreter. It's going to be this one right here that they're asking about. So that converts a shell, like a command line shell or anything like that, to interpreter if you needed it. Select this, use module path, show options. What are the options required to change? This should just be session. Every post module is just usually session. Shell to met, yep. Set the required options. You need less sessions here. Run. Alright, so we don't need to do all this because we do have an interpreter session. And then it wants us to run get system. So in the sessions, another good thing to run if you do have an interpreter session is to get multiple interpreter sessions. So this module right here, number 13, will most of the time inject multiple interpreter sessions. So, you know, Mubix would say 2 is 1, 1 is none. So we got an L port there. Let's set that as a different L port. We'll do all 8. We're gonna set amount to 3. Set the handler to true because we want it to start a new handler. And set session. What's gonna be messed up is if this kills our current session. Don't do it to me, Metasploit. Don't do it. Alright, so it looks like it's injecting. It created a process. It created a notepad to put interpreter into. Another notepad. And another notepad. Thanks, Kurt, for the follow. Alright, so fingers crossed we should have multiple sessions. And we only have one. I don't understand what it's doing in the background where it doesn't give me multiple sessions. That just seems wrong. Almost like a bug. I might need to file that with them. Alright, so let's just use our session and hope that it doesn't die. Alright, so this originally was telling us that we need to get NT system authority. Currently we can see that we are NT system authority, so again, that's kind of done. Shell, who am I? Yeah, so standard enumeration on a box is who am I? That doesn't work on that one. Why not? Get UID. We'll tell you that one, yeah. And then system info is another good one to see. So you can see what if you're part of a domain, how many logged on users. Make sure that your interpreter matches your architecture. If it does not, then again, you could go back to those post modules, and that's something you definitely should do, is match your interpreter to the version of OS that you're running. So when you're looking at that, that's going to be the arc migrate right here, number 9. And that will take whatever version of system you're on and match the interpreter session to that. Alright, so let's get back in there. Going off of my tangents. Alright, we have system, so we're good on there. List all the processes. Okay, I click complete. Can you complete? Thank you. Alright, so this is saying list all of the processes running via PS. Just because we are system doesn't mean our processes. Find a process towards the bottom of the list that is run in NT and write down the process ID. So it wants us to find one closer to down here. And let's just do search index. So we'll say that one. So it's PID, parent PID, the name, the architecture, the session, the user, and the path. So PID is that the actual ID that the system gives to the process, and then a parent PID is if something spawns underneath that PID, it points back to that one. And so you'll kind of notice that on this here, like the system process is 0, and then system had a PID of 4, but its parent process is 0. And then SMSS PID is 416, but its parent process is 4. So you'll see that some of these stack on top of each other basically, or follow underneath some of these other processes, like services, LSAS, LSM, they all have 592, which is part of the WinInit process. So it's just, you know, kind of good knowledge to kind of know there. So we'll copy that PID there. We'll probably need it for something later. Yep. So we're going to migrate to that process. So that's going to be migrate, and then the PID. Access denied. Thanks for the follow, Grodes. See if we can find a different PID maybe to jump into. This one's an interesting one here, the .NET. So we'll try that one. So the reason you want to jump from the PID that we're into this other PID, can't migrate to non-existent PID, awesome, is because if something happens to our shell, then we could have a big crash and we get kicked out. And since we're on an unstable service, then it's more likely meaning that we wouldn't get back in. We're going to kind of cheat and use probably the EC2 config process. That should have no problems. As I say that, there it goes. All right. So that EC2 process would not be on a standard network system. That's a high indicator that you know you're running an Amazon. So again, if you're doing a pen test and you see that process, you can pretty much guarantee that it's an Amazon instance. All right, so we're on to the next part, which is cracking. Dump the non-default user's password and crack it. With our elevated interpreter shell, run hash dump. So now we can do hash dump. There's our passwords. This will dump all the passwords to the machine as long as we have correct privilege. What is the name of the non-default user? So we can see our users here, admin, guest, and John. So that's going to be John, based on the question it's asking. Copy the password hash to a file, research how to crack it. So we can background this. The Metasploit actually has John interpreted in there. Yeah, and hack Amazon. If only. So we can search John. And that's going to be... It's not an exploit. Is it a scan? Yeah, analyze. All right, so it's an auxiliary analyze module up there. Come on. So we'll want to do crack window, so that's going to be number 14. So use 14. If you didn't know, again, we can type in creds and we should have, oh, I apparently have creds from last time. Those are none of the new ones. So we'll need to clean that out. Creds equal H, and that's going to be delete. Oh, that's awesome. Good job, Metasploit. Just keep failing me on that one. Yeah, we could add a user if we wanted to. Thanks for following Tema Year. Again, if you guys got questions while we're doing this, again, this is not a hard box, so we're just kind of doing this. But right now, Metasploit is not doing me any good. Well, like, delete. It deleted them, but it didn't. Alright. Awesome. Alright, so we'll jump back in our session. We'll do a hash dump again. And that should hopefully add the hashes to our... Yeah. Is it under loop? Oh my gosh. I really should have cleaned out all this stuff beforehand. Are there any others that I need to worry about? Probably vols and stuff like that, but that shouldn't matter. Alright, let's jump back into the session again. We'll eventually get this stuff added in there so that we can actually crack it. Alright, show options. I think we just run this if I remember right. Yeah, it shows there's no hashes in there. You know, the other way to do this would be to take it off of Metasploit. So let's do that. Sessions I1. Hash dump. How many times can you hash dump a machine? So it wants us to just do the John one. Alright, so another good thing to know on Windows systems, especially newer ones, the first part of the hash, a majority of the time, doesn't matter anymore. So you'll notice that this matches the same as this one down here. And then another interesting thing is if the passwords are blank, they're going to be a C1 and then end in a 3-1 and then end in C0. So you kind of notice that here on admin and guest that those are practically blank passwords. So then the one that matters is this one right here, the FFB 80D. So you have, you know, you could open up a new session. We could put this in a password file. Let's copy everything just for sake. Copy. We'll nano that. Passwords. Control V, Control X. Yes, save. And now we'll do John -H because I always forget it, and it's, I want to say it's -- word list. Yep, so -- word list. Yeah, LM and NTLM. Yeah, right, Delic. Yeah, sorry that Streamlabs deleted the original message that you had. It's very aggressive on things that you let it try to take over. So we're gonna do the word list. On your system, that's usually user on a Kali system. It's usually user share word list. Let's see where we're at. ls user share word list, and we want rock you. So then it's just rock you there. And passwords. Oh, word list. I was like, that was way too fast. And it says that John's password is blank, which is not, because like Dalexec was pointing out, we got LM and NTLM. So it decided to, what did it decide to go with first? To force. So it looked like it went with LM, and we'll want to do format equals NT. There you go. So you can kind of see there too. Yep, yeah, you got it. That John at first decided to go with the wrong format, LM, and didn't get it. And then yeah, like Dalexec was pointing out, it's NTLM, and so then the option dash format equals NT will force it to use NT algorithm to break. So now we got the password there. We'll copy that. And that's going to get us... Alright, so then now we have flag hunt. So flag 1 doesn't tell us anything about it, wherever it's at. And then Windows doesn't like the location of this flag and can occasionally delete it. It may be necessary in some cases to terminate and restart the machine and rerun the exploit to find it. Okay, and then flag 3. So now we're just on a flag hunt. Alright, so we're in Meterpreter. Oh man. Just to find flags that could be anywhere. So we have search. So let's see what search-h. Search drive. Directory or drive to begin to search. Leave empty for all drives, okay. A file pattern glob to search for. Asterisk secret asterisk. So let's do that. Let's do search-f asterisk flag asterisk. Alright, fingers crossed. This might take a while. This might take a long while. This would be where the nice other Meterpreter session would help out. Alright, let's do... There's gotta be a better, quicker way for this. We could jump on the box, I think. Alright, let's just do it. Shell. And then you could just use pxec while you scan. Oh yeah, since I have the the password now. Okay, apparently it can't shell out. Awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do we'll clear that. We'll do npackets ps exec. So that's gonna be under locate ps exec. Okay, I did not find npackets ps exec. There's fast track, it looked like. Yeah. So then cd user share npacket examples. Ah, that's right. Yeah, see, that's the other thing too that I don't like that they changed in 2020 is they changed where npacket went. So now we gotta go to that directory. See, there it is. PS exec. Let's see what they want for that. So we'll need the hash, so we could use that. All right, so we'll send the interpreter session to go ahead and do that search while we pop off via PS exec. That is a good suggestion there, Dosec. All right, we need the hash again. Hopefully John can use PS exec. That's the other thing we did not think about. All right, and that's gonna be, we need the target, and that's user and password. No, we want to use the hashes, so dash hashes. And target IP address, so target. Yeah, and then on the charity stream for the blind hacker, I showed how to put npacket into Docker, but I don't have it on on this host, of course. So it doesn't help me here. All right, so let's get this IP. We'll add another hour just to make sure we're not losing time. Okay, and then the hashes. And then we just need the element and the other hash. I think we got to put John in front of there too. In front of the IP, if I remember right. Okay, let's just put John. Error, too few arguments, okay? Target IP. Do I need to... Target, path name, too few arguments. What am I missing here? Maybe the dash target. Ah, there you go. Nope. then I think it's got to be that the John. Yeah, Jon. So it's saying that it's not. Yeah, format is IP hashes into the M. You can use the NTLM hash twice. Yeah, but the share is not writable, admin and C share, so it's not letting psexec go. And that's kind of something that security-wise, if implemented psexec kind of fails at. We do have RDP, so and we have a password, so we could just RDP to it too. Might even be quicker. So let's look at that password. That's there. We had the password here, right? All right, and then it's our desktop on Linux, and then we're gonna do 10 10 6 1 2 2 2. Sure, why not? I'm gonna do John, and then ALQFNA22. Shh, don't tell anyone Windows is not activated, and it's not genuine. So the good part about having the GUI, right, is that we could just use it to find the flags. It should be easy peasy. That was a way easier way to do it than looking for it. So we're just gonna line these up so we can do that, and then we're gonna be done. Find the flags. Just RDP into it. That's all you need to do. All right, so flag one, copy, paste. What? Did I mess up something? Only submit the content. Okay, like that. Thank you. So there you go. If you want to find a file easily, just access the GUI. All right, first box done. Blue's completed. Thank you for that one. So that's part of the OSCP track that they have, which is pretty cool. Just to kind of give you an idea, I think I gotta go to my dashboard. Path progress, here it is, it's loading. So they have this broken up in different sections, which is pretty cool. Getting started, so blue is kind of getting started. I think there's a Linux one. The Vulnerability is the first box that I did when I came onto this platform. Is a really cool one, really easy, kind of just shows you everything. Kenobi is another one, and then proving it. We have already done Steel Mountain. I played with Alfred a little bit already. Hack Park, I think, is going to be a little bit harder with Hydra. Game Zone. The Daily Bugle, I started playing with a little bit before, so that one definitely seems like it might be a little harder. Brainstorm, Brain Pan, and then extra credit. Hacking with PowerShell, that should be a pretty quick and easy one. Retro, I played with a little bit too. It just seemed like a big rabbit hole. All right, if you guys enjoyed, I'm on every Tuesday, and trying to do most of the TryHackMe type stuff, and then I do some dev streams here and there. But thanks everyone for joining tonight. You need to pay to get further into these. So yeah, so like some of the boxes, the way that they work, if you do, what is it? Activities? Yeah. So you can sign up for free, right, to TryHackMe, and then they have show free, and these are the free boxes. So they have quite a bit, and you don't have to pay to access those. I mean, 12 pages of boxes for free. Yeah. Um, and they're all different range and skills, and each one of these are, similar to nature of what you saw tonight. So they have certain objectives that you got to reach and click to answer questions. So it kind of gives you um, the ability to kind of play with that and see. I really like the box. They had a sale, and I subscribed for $8 a month, which is cheaper than um, Hack the Box and stuff. And they have no restrictions on posting stuff. You can post it as soon as you want to post it. So if the room came out yesterday, you could post something, which is really cool because again, that kind of helps the community back. I mean, they are doing like a leaderboard though, so I wouldn't suggest doing exactly the ones that came out this week, this month. They try to keep the leaderboard updated by month. Um, but I did a stream for one of them for one of the boxes that came out literally like 2 weeks after. So um, and no one cared. So that's what I really like about it is that you're not limited to wait until the box retires or anything like that. You can talk about the box. You can do write-ups whenever you want. So all right. Thanks again, everyone, tonight. I really appreciate the raid party, and I hope y'all learned something, even even if you're watching Metasploit fail the whole time. But have a good night and keep the hacking.